What's up, everyone, and welcome to our post E3 coverage. This time around, we're going to be talking about Ubisoft's press conference that just ended. This is Austin Miller, this is Trevor Bradley, and this is Drew Shishley. I'm Corey Foster. So let's run through a list of what all the games were that they showed off, and then we'll talk about your guys' feeling about the conference as a whole. I got a good idea where that's probably going to go.
Okay.
So they started out and they showed off gameplay for Ghost Recon Wildlands. This game comes out March 7th, 2017. What do you guys think?
You skipped Just Dance.
I'm not.
You did.
No.
They said it's a big seller though. You got to address it.
Yeah.
No. Was that?
We don't have
did they actually? Was that actually Just Dance?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was
Dance
just.
was
I thought they were just dancing and stuff.
Dancing for Just Dance.
No, I thought they were just gonna come out and
2017.
dance.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you guys think about Ghost Recon, though? That's the one we want to start out with.
I love just.
Right.
But no, Ghost Recon, it looked cool. Like you guys said, it looked kind of like a Sicario type movie where it's all about cocaine nowadays. So
Yeah.
Got a little bit of Metal Gear Solid co-op version.
Oh,
A little bit.
man, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
But reminds me a lot of The Division, except maybe just a little more opened up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do you guys think of this like continuation of open world third person shooters that we keep getting?
Well,
I think we're gonna
Ubisoft's
hit.
all about those open world.
We're gonna hit a saturation point, I think, if we
Yeah.
haven't already, which kind of worries me.
But I mean, I think this one's a little different. You know,
It
like
is.
it's Ghost Recon. It's like a team aspect. You know, kind of like The Division, but also it's just a different location, different, more militaristic, I guess.
Yeah. Definitely.
I do think that should kind of be more so the standard. Like it's open world, but there's like a linear like storyline. You
Yeah,
follow.
I
Like,
think
you
that,
can kind
that
of go,
definitely works. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can kind of explore a little and then get back on. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a good formula.
Yeah, I think it looks cool, and it's going to come out in March, so that's going to probably be a time where we don't get a lot of these other AAA hits, so that'll probably be a good time
Gives
for
them a
it.
good window.
After that, we saw South Park, The Fractured But Whole.
Yes.
That's coming out December 6th. What do you guys make of that? I mean, I didn't play the first one. Probably won't play this one. What do you guys think of that? Looked hilarious. I'll say that.
The first one was a blast.
Yeah.
I got into South Park fairly recently, so I'm not like a long time fan of the show. But like I played the game and like it played like an RPG. Like I was very pleasantly surprised, and it was hilarious. I loved everything about it. And this one looks, I mean, it looks different. It's obviously of a different kind of style, but it looks like another very entertaining game.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it looked really funny too. Looked like a very well made game again. Writing, Matt and Trey are, I mean, they're bringing,
Genius.
they're bringing like straight from the show basically. It
Yeah.
almost feels so seamless like that. It's great.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a South Park fan forever.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I loved it. I haven't played the Stick of Truth, but I wanted to, and now that they said they're gonna include it in the, if you get the,
Yeah, it'll come free with the purchase of the new one.
yeah,
Right?
so
that'll be
definitely-
cool.
That's really
I
neat.
think we'll definitely pick this up and play that and the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks awesome.
So after that, we saw a trailer for the Division Underground expansion, which we already saw at the Microsoft event. They're partnered with Ubisoft to bring their DLC to Xbox a month earlier than PlayStation 4. But then they also showed off their second planned expansion, which is the survival expansion. You two guys are Division players. What do you think of that?
It's really cool. I think the survival expansion looked really neat and a different type of area for you to play in.
Yeah, it was a lot darker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I kind of like that. I
Yeah,
thought
I
it
do
was,
too.
it made it a little bit spookier for like players,
Yeah,
you know.
no, yeah.
I thought the Division when it first came out, it was going to be maybe like when it got dark, it was gonna be like super dark and stuff. But this seemed a little bit like foggy and like stuff from like the manholes and everything. You know, like it was definitely a clouded area that you can't see,
Yeah.
which I thought was cool.
After that, they went into some VR talk. So they showed off Eagle Flight, which is a game that they announced last year.
Yeah. How do you feel
It
about it,
looks
Corey?
great.
It looks like a game that came out of 2010. Like the graphics look terrible.
The concept is good, but I guess
Cool concept, sure.
Yeah.
I'm with you there.
the graphics
Now,
are
Kind
really-
of. We didn't need to watch a full
now
game.
what they should have done. There's another game that we'll talk about here in a second that should have been shown as VR compatible along with these games, and that's going to be Steep. But we'll talk about that a bit more here in a little bit.
With the Eagle Flight, I was wondering, do they only have that one game mode, or is there more
That's
game
what it
modes?
seems
There must-
like.
they must
almost.
at
There
least
has to
be
be
There's
some-
got to be more, right?
They must at least
something.
be planning something else.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like,
So that's a super one-dimensional.
I mean, like it's cool because like, you know, like you're flying through all this
Sure.
little,
Yeah, it's
Spaces
fun.
and
And
stuff,
you're going
but-
fast, and
But I mean, I'm just wondering what else they could do with it. You know?
Yeah.
like, I'm not going to be able to do that for 6 months.
Yeah.
Team deathmatch. You just
Yeah, exactly,
kill
that's what I'm saying.
eagles out of the
Yeah.
sky.
Oh, boy.
And it could be. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't.
So after this, we saw their Star Trek Bridge Crew game, and if you thought that the Eagle Flight game
Corey's
looked
second
bad,
favorite.
this one looked terrible.
But LeVar Ball, he liked it so much.
Okay, he's cool,
Yeah.
and
He liked it so much. He loved the graphics. He said it himself.
it.
did
He
he
said
say
they looked
that?
good. Yeah.
Oh man,
But he's been watching Star Trek from like 1980,
Yeah.
so it's not,
He's lived through bad graphics.
those graphics looked awful.
I thought it was like kind of cool, you know, how you like work with the team and stuff, you know,
Yeah.
to like
That was
Once
neat.
again, cool concept, but
Yeah.
I'm not. You
See,
know,
I don't know how-
gameplay is king, but man, when you're dealing with graphics like this,
But you're in VR, so you don't notice it.
that's true. That's a good point. So after Star Trek, they broke out of the talk about VR and they talked about For Honor.
Yes.
For Honor looks awesome. I'm down as a history guy. I'm down to see a mashup with Vikings and samurai and knights. That just
Yeah.
looks awesome.
The cinematic trailer looked great. The gameplay demo looked great.
Yeah. I
Just
think
a-
it's and I don't know if I don't know if it was ever actually said that it was a multiplayer only game, but that was the assumption that I had when they first showed it, and the fact that they're coming out now and saying it's going to have a campaign and stuff means that I went from a might buy to a probably will buy on this game.
But it's just for me, I kind of have a little bit of doubts about the campaign. How like it's just, you know, you have all these little enemies that are easy to kill, and then
Yeah.
you have like some that are a little bit tougher, and then like you get to the boss. Like, is that going to be like too repetitive? Like, if that's the only
Yeah.
thing
I
you're
think it's a
doing.
constant thing.
I mentioned it when we were watching it. It felt, I don't know if any of y'all have ever played Dynasty Warriors, but it kind of had that
Yeah.
feel to me. Like,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah,
you're just
exactly.
running over mobs of like,
Yeah, they're just like so easy to kill.
yeah, and then it's like, oh,
Yeah.
well, there's like this officer or this like one tough enemy, and you're back to just laying down mobs of
Slashing,
people.
yeah.
But I will say the combat, it did look a little more complicated. Like the way you held your weapon, like you had stances and everything and counters, and I thought it looked pretty good.
Didn't
Yeah.
you say you used the control sticks?
Yeah, there was a lot of
Yeah.
so a lot of it was with the right stick, and it was like up and then down to the left and then down
Yeah.
to the right.
Yeah.
So I just hope that fighting style doesn't get too repetitive,
Yeah.
because I
And
can
then-
kind of see it getting a little bit.
And they showed it with the Viking, and so like potentially it'll switch you as you play through the story. Like you play part of the samurai's story, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right after that we saw Grow Up, which is that's a sequel to a game, and I apologize to those of you that are gonna kill me in the comments, but it's a sequel to a game that I don't remember the name of. So
Grow home. maybe?
Grow Home. That's it. You're
Yeah.
right. That's what it was. I don't know did that do anything to you guys, that trailer?
Not really. It seemed. I mean, it seems like an indie game.
Isn't
think
it?
it might
I think
be,
it
yeah.
is.
But like, even then, it just seemed like I could play something else that's similar to it.
Yeah. After that, we saw Trials of the Blood Dragon, which is
that presentation.
that's
man.
a mashup of what Trials Fusion,
Yeah.
and then I guess the Blood Dragon DLC we saw for Far Cry. So cool concept. I want to see what they do with this Blood Dragon concept in their other games, though, because I could see
Trials
them.
is fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, Trials is, I mean, it's like a simple kind of like game, but like it's really addictive, you know? Like, you try and go through the course and like beat your records and like beat other people and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah. After that, we saw behind the scenes footage for the Assassin's Creed movie. I don't know if that fits at E3, but it's fine, I guess. I mean, Ubisoft is a movies distributor now, I guess.
Getting that
So-
Assassin's Creed in somehow.
Yeah.
Had to.
I don't know. It looks good, but I just don't know if this was the place to show it. I think a lot of people might have been down on it, but
Yeah. I mean, like, I feel like,
mean,
you know, there's those people that still want to see the Assassin's Creed, so.
And
Sure.
when
Yeah,
you
throw
got
something.
2 hours for your press conference,
Yeah, you
what
got
are you
all
gonna
the time in the world.
after that, we saw Watch Dogs 2.
Yeah.
That game's going to be out shortly as well. That one's going to be out this fall. Cool gameplay. That game it won't get me hyped until the release actually hits, just
Yeah.
because of how the first one went for everyone.
Yeah, it looked really cool. With how there's a part where he hacks a car and then he slams it into the wall, so he uses it as cover.
Yeah.
That part was really cool.
Yeah.
So
I
hopefully
thought-
you can do that.
Like the new features, like the drone and
The drone
the
was
way
really
you
cool.
could, different things that you could hack was a lot.
Definitely
cooler than the
cool
first one.
aspects of
Yeah.
it. It's just
It's expanded.
Yeah.
from
Yeah.
the first
Hopefully,
game.
hopefully all these cool new features work as intended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the last game that we saw from them is a new IP. It's called Steep. This is I believe it's going to focus on the Swiss Alps.
Yeah.
And it looks like there's going to be skiing and paragliding, snowboarding. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you
I
guys?
mean,
Suit.
Huh?
Yeah, wingsuit.
Wingsuit stuff. Yeah.
That was cool.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It looks fun, but
It's
don't
not a
know.
game to end your conference on.
I don't know
think.
how much I can actually play it. You
Yeah.
know, like the longevity for me.
Right.
I mean, I feel like they were trying to maybe reach out and get people excited about a new IP, but
It's like I want to be excited. about
Yeah,
it,
like
and
everybody-
I kind of am.
everybody's like, it looks cool, but like they're just like, how long can you play that?
I'm sure it'll grab a lot of new players and it'll
Yeah.
bring a lot of people. But I feel bad for the people that went to the conference. I feel like the majority of them, it's not really what they're intending to see.
Right.
No, probably not.
And it kind of depends on, for me, like how deep is the game? Like how many modes can you do? Like is there set up races of like snowboard races or skiing races or something like that?
It seemed really one dimensional. It seemed really well done with that one dimension.
Right,
And
yes.
It looked great, but like again, like how long can you play it before you get bored? Like
Yeah.
I guess some people can play it for a long time, do
Yeah.
the same thing over and
It
over.
was like,
but
it was cool. You can be a lot of different things and go down the mountain and stuff, but
Yeah. Yeah, it looked fun and it looked pretty, but
Yeah.
I do think this is a game like if you want to push VR,
that's
this is one to push it with, and I think I could see
think
that
it'd do
game
great.
being successful with VR more so than these games like Eagle Flight and Star Trek Bridge Crew and all of this, you know.
I
but-
have to say, with some of those wipeouts that we saw, if you're doing that in VR, you might actually give someone a heart attack.
yeah, that's very true.
that's why they didn't do it.
So now let's get into our overall thoughts of their conference. And I think I can speak for all of us here. 2 hours long, way
too
too
short.
long.
Too short.
I
I
mean,
they
when
could have
you
elaborated a little bit more.
when Microsoft's press conference is bang 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 bang, and theirs is 90 minutes, you have absolutely no excuse in making yours 2 hours and just huge lulls in theirs.
Who signs up for a 2-hour press conference to begin with if you're not Sony or Xbox?
Yeah,
Or
I don't know.
Microsoft.
That's why I was
I don't know.
confused.
It's like they're trying to beat the big two or
Yeah.
something, just
Yeah.
by being longer.
It's
And
like
it's
they,
just like-
they had so many different like things they wanted to like say about each one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like-
it's like, here's this. Now we're going to
Yeah.
talk about this.
They could have cut it down.
And then, yeah.
That was the big difference between Microsoft and their conference. Is like we talked about Microsoft before. It was very concise. They played a trailer and it was very the pacing was great. And this one, like we mentioned, they
And
It
there,
seemed like they played every game. It's like you don't have
Yeah.
to play
they
every
played it
game.
for a long time.
And there's
they talked
some-
about it.
there's some that were just trailers, but then they'd spend 3 times as much on one thing. And it was
I
just
think
like,
it would have been better if they didn't play Eagle Flight. That might have been better.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you can announce games nowadays without having to show them those smaller titles like
Yeah,
that.
it could have
you
even been
know?
like a 30-second clip.
Sure, yeah.
They could have played a 30-second clip,
Yeah.
and we would have gotten everything that we needed to
yeah,
know.
if
about
you don't
that
need to
game.
bring out your 6 guys here and
Yeah,
set it up and
convenient 6 VR headsets you got sitting around.
Yeah. Well, I mean, do you guys have any other thoughts on it? I mean, other than just it was long and needed to be a lot of fat needed to be trimmed out, but
I mean, I thought it was a good conference. Like, I'm not gonna say it was a bad one, but just a little too long.
yeah. I thought it was fine. I think it was better than EA's, but where is my Splinter Cell, Ubisoft?
Yeah, he is real mad about that.
Where is my Splinter Cell and my Sam Fisher?
Everyone's all mad, no Beyond Good and Evil 2. Everyone's still waiting for that
Oh,
for
yeah.
years and years and years.
Yeah, that's true.
So hope maybe take notes.
Maybe next year.
Oh, it's good next year.
Yeah.
Well, guys, that's what we thought of Ubisoft's press conference. Let us know down in the comments below what you thought. And thank you so much for watching, and we'll be sure to see you guys in the next one.